I'm your host today. In today's presentation, Luando Franklin is my name, the lead tutor, Chief Executive Officer, pioneer of FCU Accountants Tuition Center. Before I start to present today's video, I want to encourage you to ask questions on today's topic in the chat box. Also to make comments in the comment section about the quality of this video. All the comments that will be made will be taken very, very seriously, and they'll be used to improve our lecture delivery. All the questions that will be asked, depending on the availability of time, they will be attended to. If your question is not attended to, it's not deliberate, it is due to lack of time. In today's video, we are going to look at target costing. I'll explain the meaning of target costing. I'll also look at the steps that you need to take in order to implement target costing system. And then I'll show you how to calculate the target cost, the cost gap, and then we shall do the question together, which I'm sharing on the screen. So now, target cost. Target costing, we have target costing. Target costing is a costing system that focuses primarily on cost reduction. And the cost reduction begins before production starts. This costing system focuses on the following things, which we call external factors. Number one, competitive selling price. Competitive selling price. So an entity, before it starts production of the product or provision of a service, it will look at the prices in the market for similar or identical products or those of services. That will be the beginning point. So it also looks at the quality, focuses on the quality of the product. Quality of the product or quality of the service provided. Number three, it also looks at the cost of the product. So target costing focuses on those three things: competitive price, quality of products. Under target costing, the focus is continuous improvement of the products or of the services provided. Cost of the product, target costing focuses on the reduction of cost without compromising the quality. So it sets the target cost that must be achieved in the production of the product or in the provision of a service. Now, there are a number of advantages, but I will just discuss one. The major advantage of target costing over traditional costing is that cost control and cost reduction for target costing begins before production starts, and normally most of the costs are phased out at the design stage, as opposed to traditional traditional costing system, it starts cost control when production has already started. So it has an advantage over traditional costing system. So now let's look at the steps to follow when implementing the target costing system. So we have a number of steps there. Step 1 is determine the competitive price. Competitive price of similar or identical products in the market. Number 2, what is the return on investment? The return on investment for the company, it is known. Or what will be the shareholders' expected return on their investment? So in short, this is the profit margin. Profit margin. When you know the profit margin can be deducted from the competitive price in order to get the target cost. The target cost is the cost that an entity is expecting to incur when producing the product. Number 4, estimate the cost of production. Estimate the cost of production of the product. Estimate the cost of production, taking into account the current price levels and the product specification. Then, thereafter, you need also to determine what is the cost gap. Determine the cost gap. Determine the cost gap. The cost gap is the difference between the estimated cost of production and the target cost. And this cost gap should be closed over the period of time. So how do you close it? Determine the strategies to use to close the gap. Strategies. Determine the strategies to close the gap. To close the gap. So basically, those are the steps, 5 steps thereafter. Number 5 is very important. Also, is it 6 or 7? You need now to bring the product to the market as quickly as possible. Now, I want to discuss the strategies that can be used to close the gap. The strategies that can be used to close the gap are as follows. We have strategies to close the gap. One of the strategies is to use standard components. Use standard components when producing the product. So now the standard components are those components which will make a product to be a product. For example, a radio. For a product to be called a radio, there are standard components. For example, you need the speaker. You need the scanner to get the stations. You need the inbuilt a receptor or inbuilt area. Though since you are only using standard components, it will reduce the cost of a radio. All those decorations, psychedelic, they are not important to a customer. So use standard components only. Number two, use cheaper materials without compromising the quality. 3, use cheaper labor without compromising the quality. Number 4, eliminate activities which do not add value. Eliminate activities which do not add value. Eliminate activities which do not add value. Which do not add value. Number 5, use use efficient production techniques or methods, thereby reducing cost. Efficient. Use efficient production techniques. So basically, these are the methods or ways that can be used to close the gap. Then now we can go to the question here. We have the question. Under this question, we have Appendix 2, new jet engine. We are already given the competitor price, and then we are given the estimated cost of producing the engine. We are also given the profit margin of 15. Under the notes, design and development as a cost of 1.2 million. This would be in thousands. So it will be 120,000 because on top we are using, on top we are using thousands. That is the total. And the engine is expected to sell approximately 1,200 units over a lifetime. So you can find the design and development per unity. So this one will be, so 120,000. 120,000 divided by 1,200. So the cost per unit will be 100. And then note 2, sales and marketing costs are expected to be approximately 20% of selling price. So this will be the selling price we already know. It is 2,500 multiplied by 0.2. And this will be 500. $500. So here we can now look at the target cost. Target cost should be The target cost, the starting point is competitive price. The competitive price we are given, which is 2,500. Then less profit margin. Profit margin, we have 20%. No, profit margin is 15%. 15% there, how much do we get? 15% gives us 375. If you remove the profit margin there, we have the target cost, which we must incur, 21.25. So that is the target cost that the company should incur in the production of this engine. But now, what is the estimated cost of producing this engine? The estimated cost will be, we already have note 1 there, design cost, we calculated 100. Marketing costs, we have calculated 500. And now we go to the raw materials we are given. Raw materials. The raw materials there, it is 200. And then components, sub-components. Sub-components, we are given 600. And then we have skilled labor. Skilled labor. The skilled labor, we have 625. And then we have general labor. General labor is given there, 125. And then we have production overheads. Production overheads, abbreviation, 275. Total there, it's 24. 24.25. 24.25, that is the estimated cost. Now we need to determine what is the cost gap. Cost gap is equal to estimated cost of production less the target cost. So this is equal to 300. So this company should be able to reduce this cost 300 because the target cost to be incurred should be 2,125. But now the estimated cost of production is 2,425. Therefore, the difference of 300, that is the cost gap which must be reduced using the strategies that we have actually identified. But we can also use other costing systems like Kaizen costing system or business processing engineering to reduce the cost. This topic is relevant for those doing ACCA advanced performance measurement, and also ACCA performance measurement, and also CA 2.2, ZICA, and also DA9 ZICA. This will be applicable to those courses. For new subscribers, again, ensure that you hit the notification button so that you are notified when the videos are available. Again, I want to thank all those who have been supporting us, those who have just joined our YouTube channel, and the existing subscribers. We say thank you very much for your support. God bless you.